Trijicon fans, hopefully you have joined us for this live stream coverage of new launches. My name is Julie Golub. I'm a member of Team Trijicon, and we still have more. We've talked about the Ascent, the Credo, the 10 Mile, and now it's all about the enhanced Acupoint line. Check out this video. All right, here to talk about the expanded Trijicon Acupoint line, we of course have Ryan Wood here, Senior Product Manager for Trijicon, and a man who needs no introduction, Taryn Tactical Innovations, three-gun champion, trainer extraordinaire. Thanks for being here.
Good to see you, Julie.
Likewise, likewise. Are you excited about this?
Yeah, I am. I've used these scopes since the TR21 came out. I was at the Superstition Mountain three-gun, one of the best three-gun matches in the world in Arizona. It was on the table, and I was running an Acog at the time. It's a great scope, but having that variable power, it was only a 1.5 to 4, but it was all I needed back then to go. And then when the 1 to 6 came out, that was endgame.
Game changer.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history, right?
Yeah. And then also the 2.5 to 12. This isn't it, but it's very similar to the size. I never thought I'd use it for three-gun. I was like, it's so massive, it's crazy. Then I was playing with it, and it has the little tiny green dot. Obviously, for longer range, it's going to be a little more advantage on the 1 to 6. And some of these matches, you got stuff out to 500, 600 yards. It's crazy. So I was going to have an RMR on the side. I was shooting open at the time. But I actually shot these stages because I realized I can adjust this back here, and I can make this thing hit dead on at like 10 yards and shoot all the close hosing stuff on 12 power. And then go pro and like, switch the knob.
How is he doing this?
So that was, so I kind of jump back and forth.
Yeah.
Mostly tack optics. A normal three-gun match out to 350 to 400 yards, I'll just run that. Just because of the big green red triangle, I just love it. It rails. But both of them, I'm kind of torn, but I use them both.
That's, you've kind of given us a really good brief overview of some of the things, but we've expanded so much more here. Yeah. And if you do have questions about the Acupoint line, make sure you add them in the comments below, because this is your chance to talk to Taryn and Ryan. And also, it's your opportunity to be entered in to win one of these optics.
Can I enter it too?
No, you can't enter it, but we'll be giving one away. So you want to make sure you comment in order to answer. So
Taryn, you mentioned the Acog, so that's a great transition, because you talked about the Acog, and of course, a famous combat optic, dual illumination, tritium and fiber, and that's what we carried over into the Acupoint family. So for folks that are maybe not as familiar with the Acupoint family, it's important to remind everyone that it's a unique rifle scope. It's battery-free, always-on illumination, and it's illuminated with this the fiber wheel here, the fiber dial. It's collecting the ambient light, illuminating the wire reticle, and it gives you that always-on. But if it's dark out, it's periods of darkness. You've got a tritium phosphor lamp, so you always have an illuminated aiming point. Yeah,
it's amazing. And tactically, for me, I think, a lot of guys have a dot sight, or you got to turn it on and shoot out or whatever, right? If something goes down. Like the worst case scenario is you go to get in the batteries.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys, stop! I gotta change my battery. I got a screwdriver. Don't shoot.
Yeah.
And tactically, this scope here to me is the ultimate, tactical scope, because it's always on.
It's always on.
Always
a battery won't die. Well, that Murphy's Law is going to be there that day.
Or even if you like to stock up on batteries and you have all of that, you don't have the battery anxiety.
Yes.
You always know you have an illuminated reticle, and you can control the amount of illumination. We were talking before about, especially in California, you've had times where it's so bright, it's almost, the reticle is almost too bright.
Yeah, and you adjust it with this.
Yeah, so you can just manually control the override here and decrease the illumination if that becomes an issue.
Yeah, so on close range hosing stages, I want it wide open. I want it just a brilliant red triangle just to shred all these crazy targets. But then when I go long range, whatever, then I'll kind of put it like in between. I'll get by on the hosing, but then it's not a glowing triangle for the long range, like 400-yard, 500-yard shots.
Yeah.
And obviously both eyes open.
Right.
Which is a fantastic trait, especially for competition shooting.
It's crazy. The bend and aiming system, I took to it like nobody's business, and I was doing it before anybody, and I didn't want to show all my competition how to do it. But it was so funny because I loved to drive them crazy. My crazy heyday, like a 7-year winning streak in 3-gun. I would leave it on 4 all the time. And they're like, wow, what are you doing? Like, they all got to go 1 power, close stuff, then run up there. Oh, I forgot to turn the knob. Oh, and they're already prone. Like, damn it, Karen. And I would just leave it on 4 or 6 the whole time and shred. And then I discovered some weird stuff sighting in one time. This is like, I'm the only weirdo that does this, is this little arrow here. If I go down to here, this dot is dead on at like 5 yards. Dead on, like boom, 1 shot. That's included eye. That's looking over there. I could cover the front and look both eyes up and hit dead on right on the little black dot. As I get back, I'm like, okay, these are like 20-yard close, but I don't want to be on 1 power. I still want to be lazy and not turn my knob, right? Then I would turn it. I have a mark here with a little Sharpie and move this arrow to here. That's anything within 20 yards. But if it's a close range headshot, then I go back and leave it there because that's what's cool about it. Same with this one. I drove people nuts at the Nationals in Vegas because I was not using my RMR on the side. Like, why are you shooting these close, tiny headshots with this? You're an idiot. And same thing, I didn't know I discovered that that little green dot was so precise that I liked that shot for those headshots at close range because it was dead on at that range. I knew it. Like, how'd you do that? And was able to win the Triple Crown.
The secret sauce.
Yeah, it's fun.
Triple Crown. So you obviously have a love relationship with these optics because they've been able to help you do what you need to do on the range.
Yeah, I've had other scopes. I've been to SHOT Show. And like, give me shoot for us. We'll pay you more. And I play with it like I can't work with this. I need my brilliant aiming solution.
Oh, hey.
That's a good plug for the number of SKUs we have here.
And you mentioned at the very beginning, Julie, is that we're enhancing. We've expanded the Acupoint family, and so we have some new things to talk about. So we've continued. We've brought over the 1 to 6, all of the tried and true, the 2.5 to 2.5 to 12.5 by 42, great options. But we've overhauled 2 of our legacy models, revamped them entirely, and that's the 5 to 20 by 50, which I'm holding here. This looks nothing like the original 5 to 20 by 50. And so still same magnification range and objective, completely new optical assembly under the hood. Oh, really? So you now have 100 MOA of travel, just awesome option. Wow. Repositionable magnification, finer reticles, so we don't have the dots for the subtensions. You actually have a hash mark for the subtensions, so a little bit finer. And then probably one of the biggest things I like most is we've got the exposed elevation adjuster with the 0 stop. Mm-hmm. So we built that into the 5 to 20.
No, you designed this to unscrew and relocate because you might bump into certain parts of the gun and things like that.
Exactly. So I know we're talking about the tactical crowd here, but really this is it could easily be a hunting scope as well, and we'll talk about that more this afternoon. But the repositionable magnification, use that to accommodate any kind of shooting position as well as rifle configurations. Yeah. Or you can just simply take it off.
Bump into the RMR, so you scoot it over 1 notch.
Yeah, exactly. So we redid the 5 to 20, completely new scope. We redid the 4 to 16 by 50, same enhancements that we made to that. And then we introduced 2 new models to the Acupoint, the 3 to 18 by 50 and the 4 to 24 by 50. And one of the folks from the last session, when we were talking about the 10 miles, like, hey, would you have a dual illuminated 3 to 18 by 44? And I don't want to give it away, but we basically do, and it's called the 3 to 18 by 50 Acupoint.
Okay, so we've got it covered.
Yeah,
we've got you covered. So this is fantastic. As far as looking at all of these SKUs and looking at what you've been able to do in competition, are you going to switch anything up here now that you've got some opportunities?
Well, I mean, the whole internals you're talking about, that three to, what was it 15?
Yeah, 3 to 18 by 50.
3 to 18, that could be something I could work with.
I mean, it's such a sweet spot in terms of magnification for both CQB as well as distance. With that 50 millimeter objective, you've got plenty of exit pupil, so it just excels for low light shooting.
Yeah, I want to order that when I get back.
I think you know people. Well, we do have some questions. If you do want to jump on and add a question, please do that now. And of course, make sure you're getting your comment in so you could win a new Acupoint. And we do have some questions already. Doug wants to know, is the Acupoint the best solution for three-gun competition?
I mean, it is. For me, between these two, they cover everything. I just love these scopes. Trijicon does make a extended knob that pops on here, so it's a little faster leverage to switch it over. You do want to work this a little bit. It's pretty tight for like deep sea, 20,000 leagues below, so it doesn't leak. But this is like, I mean, unless you got a three-gun match where it's nutty far shots, then you switch over to that one. But you might have to learn that included, I think, in TAC optics division, because it will allow the RMR. But if it's open and you have an RMR and SRO on the side, plus that, you own the whole range. Like, it's up to you at that point. But to me, this is the all-around best one right here. Because most three-gun matches don't push past like 350, and this is easy. If you learn the triangle, I know guys are, I don't understand the triangle. Leave me alone. I just looking at that little picture of the ship. I don't see it. But with this, if you learn it, basically what you do is you zero it about 300 yards. So it's going to be a little high at 100.
Okay.
But on 100 yards, you shoot at the bottom of whatever the plate is. You know,
Okay.
which is nice to see a target above your.
It's fast.
You know, versus
Yeah.
sitting on top of it.
Yeah.
Then you go out to 3, you're pretty much dead on. At 350, you put the triangle like the corner of the triangle. If there's wind, I'd put the corner of the triangle on the plate like this and hit the plate here. The wind would blow it right into it. So look, each point of the triangle is an aiming point. And that's what I learned with it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a lazy shooter. I can't figure out all these hash marks and hashtags. And I'd see a scope in the company with 8,000 diodes. Like, oh my God, I can shoot a spaceman in Mars. You know, I don't know all that stuff. I just want to see my red
Right.
triangle and shred all these fools, and then long range triangle, doink, doink, doink. So
Shredding,
anyway.
officially. Corey asks, where do I find the reticles available for each of the new product lines?
Yeah, so another shameless plug for the new website,
Great.
which we overhauled. The new products that we're talking about today in the next few hours. And so we really encourage folks to go to the website. All of the reticles are there, all of the information on the individual specs that we simply don't have time to go into. We're talking about 49 SKUs just in the Acupoint family.
That's amazing.
There's a lot to cover, and so whether it's a product selector or choose your platform or choose your application or you choose the family, there's a lot of ways to filter and boil down exactly what you want, and the website will have that information.
So many choices. David asks, how is it illuminated?
Yeah, so we talk about dual illumination. The first item in the dual illumination is the fiber optic. So this fiber optic, it's gathering the ambient light, and so it's transmitting that to a wire reticle and giving you a pinpoint.
There's wound in there, right?
Yeah, exactly, it's wound. And this dial here just, it occludes, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but basically just either
All the green is it right there. And you can
shows
see it.
up or covers or obstructs the green if you don't want
And
it.
you can shut it off if you want to make it like just a black. You know.
So that's the first part of the dual illumination is the fiber optic. That's illuminating that reticle, always on, no batteries.
Right.
The second part of the dual illumination is that tritium phosphor lamp.
Yeah.
So it's the same technology that we built into the Acog, what we've learned building Acogs for over 30 years, we've taken that same technology and put it back into the Acupoint family.
Fantastic. Chase asks, hey Taryn, will John Wick have one of these in the next film?
He will have Trijicon. It's what he likes. He picks it. I don't decide. He just goes up there and he grabs it. I have no say in the matter, but it's Trijicon every time when I'm involved.
And you'll definitely offer him some of these to choose from, yeah.
I think he'll have some cool
Might be some new options to
We'll
think
see.
about, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it'll be
great.
good stuff. Yeah.
Danny asks, how long will the tritium last?
Yeah, so depending on whether it's an Acog or an Acupoint or even the dual illumination RMR, we have some different, it's basically half-lives of tritium. So between 10 and 12 years. And so it's a huge amount of time. And beyond that, we can always service it and re-lamp it, and that's a service we offer
that's a great option.
outside of that
didn't know
time
that.
period.
That's excellent. Spencer asks, how does the illumination perform with a weapon light at night?
Yeah, so with LED is probably one of the strongest choice for nighttime with a weapons light, just because you can control the exact level of illumination. That's one reason we introduced the LED Acog is for law enforcement and military applications where use with a weapons light. So while you still have an illuminated reticle, the tritium phosphor lamp, it's a faint reticle. It's absolutely visible, but it relies on basically darkness.
Okay.
And so if you're artificially lighting it with a weapons light, there's a risk of washing it
Go
out.
with AccuPower in that case choice, probably.
Yeah, the Credo, the 10 mile are all great options. And then we talked in the last session about the illuminated wire reticle in the 10 mile family, which is going to be just an awesome choice.
Any final thoughts that you want to share with everybody on
One thing I left out is the price. Like, you know, not everybody's got a ton of money, and this scope is half the price of its competitor on an average basis. And it's still as good or better quality. So that's a big part of it. You don't want to have a scope that's almost twice the price of your rifle. That's weird. It's like having a Ferrari and your headlights cost more than a car. You're like, you know, so it's kind of like that.
Yeah, so, and, you know, we mentioned this before, but you can get into the Acupoint family at, you know, at a reasonable price point. The 3 to 9 by 40 is at $899, and then we go up to, you know, the highest end at $1799. So there's a wide range here where it's not, you know, this family is not organized around price point. It's all around the dual illumination, tritium and fiber optic, and then a ton of options, whether it's exposed elevation adjusters with zero stop or capped adjusters, low power variables versus longer range. There is a model here for everyone.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Appreciate it. I know everyone is grateful for the opportunity for having your expertise here. That's going to wrap it up for my presentation for this morning with the live videos. At 2:30 p.m. Eastern, Dave Fulson is going to take the helm, and he has even more products that he'll be talking about. Plus, at 4:30, that's when we'll be launching our new technology. You want to make sure you check back in. We'll be giving more optics away, so make sure you come on back and check out Trijicon.com in the meantime for more information.